Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Cooking with JJ. We were working at a town and we met a guy from Afghanistan. I happened to share my channel with him and he told me I should make Qabeli Palaw, which is the national dish of Afghanistan. Feel free to correct any mispronunciation there. Anyway, he described a layer of textures and flavors and said it was one of his favorite dishes. I told him I could make the vegan version of this dish. So in this episode, I'm doing exactly that. As usual, I like to do my research and deep dives, but I always like to put my own personal twist on things. So come along with me on this journey and discover what I do a little differently. I'm really excited to get started and, of course, enjoy it in the end. So without further ado, let's head over to the kitchen and get cooking! First of all, I'm going to julienne some carrots. I'll use a little more than a cup's worth. I'm slicing half of a yellow onion. Char masala is often a ground combination of cumin, green and black cardamom, cloves, and cinnamon. But what I find is even better is cooking these whole spices in the oil. Whole spices contain volatile oils which are released when you bloom them. That is the cooking technique. And it just releases so much more of an intense, well-rounded flavor from the very start to make sure you get that beautiful sensation when you're enjoying your food. For our vegan meat, we're going to be using our Farm Boy brand Beefless Tenders. I cooked our whole spices in our hot oil in our Dutch oven for 30 seconds. And then I added the onions. Adding the onions also helps to prevent the spices from burning. You want to get some nice browning on these onions. Now that our onions have browned, we're adding our beefless tenders. We're adding them straight in from frozen. There's no need to defrost them. We'll cook this up until they soften a bit and start getting brown. This dish was once so exclusive that it was only enjoyed by the upper class people in Kabul because of the expensive ingredients. However, you'll see in my recipe here, the ingredients are pretty affordable, except if you add my little secret ingredient. This dish is enjoyed at celebrations, weddings, all types of occasions. I'm adding in 1 cup of veggie stock, and this one already has salt, so keep that in mind as you're adjusting your seasoning. I almost forgot to add our chopped garlic. I'm adding a couple teaspoons worth. I'm going to cook this covered for about 20 minutes or so. Meanwhile, we'll move on to other components of the dish. We're going to soak our basmati rice for a bit. 30 minutes is ideal. And then we're going to rinse it 3 times. I'm cooking our julienne carrots in some oil on a hot pan here, just for a couple minutes until they're soft. If there's room on your pan, you can slide over the carrots at the 1 minute mark and add your soaked and rinsed raisins. You only need to cook the raisins for 1 minute. I've added a couple of pinches of saffron, our secret ingredient, to a cup of hot water. I'm adding a teaspoon of turmeric to a cup of hot water as well. These are both my personal touches. I'm adding these colorful water mixtures to our hot pot. And I'm adding 2 more cups of water. And I'm adding a little salt. Add your thoroughly rinsed rice to your pot of hot water. And we're only parboiling it, so keep a close eye on it. You want it to be firm, but you want to be able to break it with your fingers. This should only take a few minutes, but test it out. Cook times will vary. Fun fact, this dish has 2 spellings. Qabeli comes from the Dari word Qabil, which means learned or well accomplished, and it suggests the skill level required to perfectly balance the textures and flavors of this dish. Plus, you want the rice granules to be distinct as well. Kabuli refers to the capital of Afghanistan, which is Kabul, and it is said that this dish originated from there. However, there are some debates going around in the culinary world or historical culinary world where they say this dish actually may have originated from northern Afghanistan around the border of Uzbekistan. Afghanistan's cuisine is influenced by Indian, Persian, and Mongolian cuisines, and although it's not so spicy, they don't use a lot of chilies. It is rich with aromatic spices, a lot of flavor there. They also like to use nuts and dried fruits. We're wrapping our carrots and raisins in a parchment packet. Some people use aluminum foil. Drain your parboiled rice, reserving the beautiful yellow liquid. We've added 2 tablespoons of raw sugar to some oil in a hot pan, and we're going to caramelize this. At the very end, you're going to add a little hot water off of the heat, but be very careful with this because you don't want it to splatter. Our aromatic vegan meat has been cooking for 20 minutes, and we removed it from the liquid. Be sure to keep that liquid nearby. Now in our empty Dutch oven, we're adding a layer of rice to the bottom. Our vegan meat mixture, and remove the whole spices. A little bit of broth to coat it, some more rice, and I decided we had enough rice, so I'm reserving the rest of this. Add your caramel to the next layer as evenly as you can, and a little bit of broth, and since there wasn't much, I'm adding a little of that beautiful yellow liquid. You don't want to overdo it with the liquid, we're just steaming this. Then add your carrot and raisin parchment packet on top. Traditionally, the pot is covered with a kitchen towel, then the lid is placed on top, but we're using a quality Dutch oven. We cooked it covered for 20 minutes. Now everything's ready. Now it's plating time. The protein is supposed to be hidden within the rice, and a happy surprise. This could be a new dish to make for Purim for that reason. Now we're adding our beautiful carrots and raisins to top it off. An Afghan gentleman actually said the correct pronunciation would be Qabeli Palaw. Of course, this is after I recorded. I topped this dish with chopped nuts. Feel free to dry toast some. I was just a little tired at this point. Slivered almonds and pistachios are common. It's that time again, everyone. It's time to try our delicious Kabuli Pulao, Afghanistan's national dish. Okay, put it on a smaller plate so it's more manageable. Trying to get every little component so I can have it all in one bite. Gotta love the sweet and savory combination. The taste of the caramel and the raisins in combination with all those spices, simply divine. Now I'm going to try it with a little bit of the chutney, which is Afghanistan's version of chutney. This one is a jalapeno one. Gotta love the little spice and the tang. Got our vegan yogurt with our mint, garlic, lemon. Of course, a little salad. So there you have it, everyone. Another delicious recipe to add to your recipe booklets. The hardest part about it is just all that separate cooking and then putting it all together. But other than that, it's pretty simple. You just have to be mindful of your rice so that it doesn't overcook, so it doesn't get mushy. And you want to be sure to rinse it enough so we don't have it too starchy and sticky. It's ideal if your rice is not all clumped together as well. So remember, if you like this video in any way, shape, or form, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that little bell notification icon so you don't miss a single video. There's going to be a new video popping up every Monday at 12 noon Eastern, so you don't want to miss it. Until next time, this is JJ signing off, keeping things interesting in my kitchen and in yours. Bon appetit.